Hello, everyone, especially to all co-masterants and to Dr. Jonas E. Olandria, our professor. I'm Carmen A. Mucha from the District of Hagna. I'm going to report my assigned topic in school laws and legislation about Article 14, Education, Science and Technology, Arts and Culture and Sports. In education, Section 1, the state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels and shall take the appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. In Section 2, the state shall establish, maintain, and support a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education relevant to the needs of the people and society. Still in Education Section 2, Number 2, establish and maintain a system of free public education in elementary and high school levels without limiting the natural rights of parents to rear their children. Elementary education is compulsory for all children of school age. Still in Section 2 in Education. Number 3, it says establish and maintain a system of scholarship grants, student loan programs, subsidies, and other incentives which shall be available to deserving students in both public and private schools, especially to the underprivileged. Number 4, it says encourage non-formal and informal and indigenous learning systems as well as self-learning independent and out-of-school study programs, particularly those that respond to community needs. And 5, provide adult citizens, the disabled and out-of-school youth with training in civics, vocational, efficiency, and other skills. Still in Education Section 3, Number 1, it says all educational institutions shall include the study of Constitution as part of the curricula. Number 2, they shall inculcate patriotism and nationalism, foster love of humanity, respect for human rights, appreciation of the role of national heroes in the historical development of the country, teach the rights and students of citizenship, strengthen ethical and spiritual values, develop moral character and personal discipline, encourage critical and creative thinking, broaden scientific and technological knowledge, and promote vocational efficiency. Still in education, Number 3, as the option expressed in writing by the parents or guardians, religion shall be allowed to taught to their children or wards in public elementary and high schools within the regular class hours by instructors designated or approved by the religious authorities of the religion to which the children or wards belong without additional cost to the government. In Education Section 4, it says the state recognizes the complementary rules of public and private institutions in the educational system and shall exercise the reasonable supervision and regulations of all educational institutions. Still in Education Section 4, Number 2, educational institution other than those established by religious groups and mission boards shall be owned solely by the citizens of the Philippines, or corporations or associations at least 60% of the capital of which is owned by such citizens. The Congress may, however, require increased Filipino equity participation in all educational institutions. The control and administration of educational institutions shall be vested in the citizens of the Philippines. Continuation to Education Section 4. No educational institutions shall be established exclusively for aliens, and no group of aliens shall comprise more than one-third of the enrollment in any school. The provisions of this Subsection shall not apply to schools established for foreign diplomatic personnel and their dependents, and unless otherwise provided by law for the other foreign temporary residents. Education Section 4, Number 3, all revenues and assets of non-stock, non-profit educational institutions used actually, directly, and exclusively for educational purposes shall be exempt from taxes and duties. Upon the dissolution or cessation of the corporate existence of such institutions, their assets shall be disposed of in the manner provided by law. Proprietary educational institutions, including those cooperatively owned, may likewise be entitled to such exemptions and subject to the limitations provided by law, including restrictions on dividends and provisions for reinvestment. Still in Education Section 4, Number 4, it says subject to conditions prescribed by law, all grants, endowments, donations, or contributions used actually, directly, and exclusively for educational purposes shall be exempt from tax. Education Section 5, Number 1, it says, the state shall take into the account regional and sectoral needs and conditions, shall encourage local planning in the development of educational policies and programs. Number 2, the academic freedom shall be enjoyed in all institutions of higher learning. Every citizen has a right to select a profession or course of study subject to fair, reasonable, and equitable admission and academic requirements. In Education Section 5, Number 4, it says the state shall enhance the right of teachers to professional advancement, non-teaching academic and non-academic personnel shall enjoy the protection of the state. Education Section 5, Number 5, it says state shall assign the highest budgetary priority to the education and ensure that teaching will attract and retain its rightful share of the best available talents through adequate remuneration and other means of job satisfaction and fulfillment. Next to education is language. Language Section 6, it says the national language of the Philippines is Filipino. As it evolves, shall be further developed and enriched on the basis of existing Philippine and other languages, subject to provisions of law, and as the Congress may deem appropriate, the government shall take steps to initiate and sustain the use of Filipino as a medium of instruction, communication, and as a language of instruction in the educational system. Language Section 7, it says, for purposes of communication and instruction, the official languages of the Philippines are Filipino, and until otherwise provided by law, English. The regional languages are the auxiliary official languages in the regions and shall serve as auxiliary medium instruction therein. Spanish and Arabic shall be promoted on a voluntary and optional basis. Next, in Language Section 8, this Constitution shall be promulgated in Filipino, and English shall be translated into major regional languages, Arabic and Spanish. Section 9, it says, the Congress shall establish a National Language Commission composed of representatives of various regions and disciplines which shall undertake, coordinate, and promote researches for the development, propagation, and preservation of Filipino and other languages. Next is Science and Technology. Science and Technology Section 10. It says science and technology are essential for national development and progress. The state shall give priority to research and development, invention, innovation, and other utilization into the science and technology education, training, and services. It shall support indigenous, appropriate, and self-reliant scientific and technological capabilities and their application to the country's productive system and national life. In Science and Technology Section 11, it says the Congress will provide for incentives, including tax deduction to encourage private participation in programs of basic and applied scientific research. Scholarship grants in aid or other forms of incentives shall be provided to the deserving science students, researchers, scientists, inventors, technologists, and especially gifted citizens. Science and Technology Section 12. The state shall regulate the transfer and promote the adaptation of technology from all sources for the national benefit. It shall encourage the widest participation of private groups, local governments, and community-based organizations in the generation and utilization of science and technology. Section 13. The state shall protect and secure the exclusive rights of scientists, inventors, artists, and other gifted citizens to their intellectual property and creations, particularly when beneficial to the people for such period as may be provided by law. Next is arts and culture. Arts and Culture, Section 14, it says the state shall foster the preservation, enrichment, and dynamic evolution of Filipino national culture, based on the principle of unity in diversity in the climate of free artistic and intellectual expression. In Section 15, arts and letters shall enjoy the patronage of the state. The state shall conserve, promote, and popularize the nation's historical and cultural heritage and resources as well as artistic creation. In Section 16, in Arts and Culture, it says all the country's artistic and historic wealth constitutes the cultural treasure of the nation and shall be under the protection of the state, which may regulate its disposition. Section 17. The state shall recognize, respect, and protect the rights of indigenous cultural communities to preserve and develop their cultures, traditions, and institutions. It shall consider these rights in the formulation of national plans and policies. Still in Arts and Culture, Section 18, the state shall ensure equal access to cultural opportunities through the educational system, public or private cultural entities, scholarship grants and other incentives, and community cultural centers and other public venues. Number 2, the state shall encourage support researches and studies in the arts and culture. Next is sports. Sports, Section 19. The state shall promote physical, educational, and encourage sports programs, league competitions, amateur sports, including training for international competitions to foster self-discipline, teamwork, and excellence for the development of the healthy and alert citizenry. All educational institutions shall undertake regular sports activities throughout the country in cooperation with athletic clubs and other sectors. So, in education, it says education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So, here are my references. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.